Hello everyone, welcome to this presentation, and today we will be learning about the different dynasties in China, part 4. But if you haven't watched the part 1, 2 and 3 of this presentation, please click the links below in the description box and help me grow my channel by clicking on the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, give it a thumbs up and comment down below. So let's start. Ming Dynasty from 1368 to 1644 CE. The Ming Dynasty was the last Chinese dynasty to rule in China, and the founding ruler was Zhu Yuanzhang, who wanted an inspiring title for his rule, and sure enough, he chose the word Ming Chao, which means brilliant. The Chinese culture was restored to erase the bad memories of the Yuan dynasty, especially in schools. They undertook major construction projects, such as the renovation of the Grand Canal. The largest part of the Great Wall was constructed, and lastly, they built the Forbidden City, the Emperor's Palace, at Beijing. China's fleet patrolled the waters of the Southeast Asia, and even as far as the Indian Ocean. The extent of the Chinese maritime influence surpassed that of the previous eras. In the 15th century, Admiral Zheng He, widely regarded as China's greatest ever explorer, who commanded a fleet of over 2,000 vessels and reached many countries including Arabia, Persia, Java, and Africa. Ching Dynasty from 1644 to 1911. The Ching Dynasty was the last ruling empire in China. This dynasty is sometimes referred to as the Manchu Dynasty because they were founded by the Manchus, an ethnic minority in Manchuria, northeast of China. The Manchus were related more to the Mongols than to the Chinese. This explains why the Manchus were despised and shaken by many revolts. The Manchus placed themselves in the upper class, while the Chinese below them. In fact, Chinese were forbidden to marry a Manchu. The loyalty of the Chinese men were tested when the Manchu imposed a policy of hair queue. This policy forced the men to shave the front of their head and to tie the remaining hair into a long ponytail. The slogan was, "To keep the hair, you lose the head. To keep the head, you cut your hair." This hair queue helped the dynasty to identify resistors, but millions of Chinese men who refused to cut their hair were massacred. In the 19th century, China was involved and lost in the two Opium Wars against the Great Britain in the first and Great Britain and French in the second. This resulted to more concessions to the victors. The Great Britain gained the sphere of influence and extraterritoriality over Hong Kong as a result of the First Opium War, aside from the many ports to be opened for the Westerners. Opium was used medically in China, but Chinese became addicted to it. China was yet to recover from the two Opium Wars when rebellions erupted, the Taiping and Nian Rebellion. These two rebellions' desire was to overthrow the Manchu dynasty, which had no enough power to drive away the Westerners. On the other hand, another rebellion erupted in support of the Manchu dynasty, the Boxer Rebellion, which aimed to drive away the Westerners. Thousands suffered from the addiction brought by the use of opium, and millions had died because of the three rebellions. China at this point was at the brink of collapse when another war against the Japanese and the French erupted. China was crippled. In October 10, 1911, the Chinese military mutinied against the Manchu rule. This was the beginning of the Chinese Revolution, which is celebrated as Double 10. This revolution became the foundation of the Chinese Republic. That's it for today. Thank you for watching.